And we're live, Yvonne.
We are
Hello,
live.
everyone.
We are live. Hi, everyone. Hi, Evie. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm fine. Good spirits.
Yes.
I want to say, as always, wait, that is not always. Let's not kid ourselves.
Only 90% of the time.
We're getting there.
Excellent. Oh, my goodness. So what have we got this week?
Well, it's too late for me. That's the AIDS myth, right? Yeah. I don't agree with this.
Like, oh, I love it. I love it. This is such a juicy topic in so many ways. But for those who are listening,
we can keep it to half an hour, right?
I was literally going to say, for those that are listening, I promise that we will keep it to 30 minutes or 35 max.
Yeah.
We'll be out of here. But this is such an important one because not just for the self, but for the women that I work with, and I'm sure is the same for you, Evie. You know, the age myth, we hear it so many times, and, you know, I'm too old, it's too late, you know, I missed my opportunity, all these things. And we're going to be touching on a couple of those phrases. And actually one that I heard quite recently was just somebody saying, and I'm not saying that this is wrong, so let me just be really clear. This is not the right, the wrong, but literally somebody saying, you know, I've worked really hard and I just want to retire, and I'm just looking forward to retiring. From somebody who is a little bit younger than me, actually, so late 50s, and it just hit me. It didn't hit me because it was wrong, because I thought, well, if that's how you feel, but I'm just like, given the longevity of our lives now, are you really willing to almost like give up on what life holds for you? And I'm not talking about work here. I'm just talking about living, whatever that looks like. Because when I hear retirement, and when I know people that I know who have retired, what I have seen, and again, this is not for everyone, but what I've just seen is this, almost like this smallness creep in as well. I'm retired now, and so I do less, and you know, I've just seen this shrinking. And actually I'm thinking, even if retirement is on your mind, it's like, wow, what does that really look like for me? What are those new things I could go off and do? What are the things that I did put on hold that actually are not on hold any longer? So anyway, so not to go off piste, but this is fascinating for me, the age myth.
It is.
Not least because I see so many role models who show me, who are showing up and just like, look at what's possible.
Oh yeah, I think this is it. Like the moment you start not defining like age with retirement and with slowing down, then you start getting this messages from all around, or your attention, like, you know, your focus is on things that are happening and are possible at any age. And it is remarkable because this type of examples have existed always. It's just that we, like, I think societal, like the society is like gearing us up towards retirement, and what retirement means is, as you said, a very specific type of thing. But nowadays, we don't even have to call it retirement, or even if you want to call it retirement, it's fine, as long as this you understand your options and your possibilities within that period of your life. So it's almost like, okay, you know, let's make retirement the beginning of something.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
Why not? And I find that, you know, even in my work, that because now I'm shifting towards like women that are in that stage of like, are they they want to retire, but they don't really want to slow down. They want to retire, but they want to do things that are like really good for them or what they have dreamt, as you said, is like the beginning of awakening the dream rather than like saying, oh no, this is too late now, there goes my dream.
Yeah.
So
yeah, absolutely.
it's the meaning we give to things, right?
Exactly. And I think this first phrase, it's too late for me, I have heard a lot. And, to be, if we think about it from the saboteur's perspective, for me, that is such a judgy statement to make about self. So for me, that's the judge that does a lot of that speaking. Oh, you've waited, it's too late. You should have done that 10 years ago, da 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 da, and all the stories that back that up. And the thing is, if we are then focused on that, then we keep on looking for evidence of it. So very much like you were saying, we start seeing what it is where our attention's going. So then we start thinking, oh my gosh, it really is too late. I could have done, should have done, didn't do, etc. And really, it's too late for me. When is it too late? What does that even mean? And so from my perspective, it's just like you get to whatever age it is, and focus on what have I gained? Like I'm 60 this year. I don't even know what's that supposed to feel like. I have no idea, because I just feel great. And and whether you're supposed to feel great at 60 or not I don't know. But it's about saying, how is anything too late for me when I feel great, I feel energized, I feel like I have so much to pour into the world before I leave it, and I don't know when I'm going to leave it. So I can't wait to decide when I'm going to pour stuff in. I need to start pouring stuff in from today, because I'm here now, right? So even just understanding, what does that mean when you say it's too late? What's too late? I have been connecting with women on LinkedIn specifically who are in their 70s and doing triathlons just doing so many things that they didn't do in their 30s and their 40s or even their 50s. And so for me, it's like the door is open. So this myth about it's too late for me is like unpacking, what does too late mean? When you say it's too late, what does that really mean? Because it's not your age that's going to stop you, it's your mindset.
100%. 100%. That's it. It's like it is the mindset. I don't believe that there is some clock that counts things down and slows us down specifically because we have reached an age. Because if that was the case, then we would never see people in their 80s and 90s doing amazing work, even to this day, like creating things, being involved in experiences, you name it. And these type of examples are not like the outliers. They are all around us. It's just about, like us really looking to see them.
Yeah.
And I think it's also like a bit cultural, because like I have never said to myself it's too late. I don't believe that I have at any point felt like this, but I heard others tell me it's too late for me. And this is very interesting, because personally I didn't buy into that. But there are others that do buy into this type of narrative, because somebody that in their environment that they cared about, that they consider a role model or whatever, told them that. And I'm Greek, so it reminds me. I don't know if you have ever seen My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
Yes, loved it.
When the father was telling to the girls, he was like not even 30, and he was like, oh my God, when are you going to get married? You're old. And he was saying it in such a way. I was like, old? He's like, oh my God, the end of life.
Yes.
So, and what that was doing to this woman, I mean, even though it's a comedy, you can see the effect it has on the person and how their life unfolds until they decide to take matters in their own hands. And I think that's what this is. even with retirement, okay, you retire. There are a lot of issues when it comes to retirement for women. And we know that because with retirement, they're also, especially women in high paid jobs or like that have big titles that now they're not their titles anymore. What happens to them? How does that translate into their life in their 60s? When they are, as you said, when you're in your 60s, you're still like in your prime in so many ways.
Yeah.
So what do you do?
Absolutely.
Where, like, you just take responsibility and say, no, I mean, the retirement will have a different meaning for me.
Exactly. And actually, and knowing it's like, it is a new canvas. It is a new chapter. It is, what do I want to put on this canvas in front of me? What paint do I want to throw on it? What colors do I want to use? How vibrant is it? How calm is it? You get to choose, and you get to choose it with that lifetime of wisdom from every era, every win, every success, every glorious moment, every painful moment. You have all of that. Like, you know, it's just like stick of rock, cut it open it and see all the richness, all that content. And now you have all of that to take forward with you wherever, even if you think, well, actually retirement, what retirement means to me is the opportunity to travel. Fantastic. Go do it. Don't talk about it too much. Go do it. Go and live it and experience it and have that. If it's actually, I've spent all my life in the corporate world, I need to start my own business because I'm like, fantastic. Do it. Don't become, or don't allow fear and other people's fears in particular, like you were saying, other people have told you things. Don't let other people's fear become your barrier. You get to decide, you get to take the responsibility, and you get to choose where you want to go. Listen, when I talk to people about the things that I want to achieve, like, I know some of them are like, oh, bless her, you know. what a lovely dream she's having. And I'm just like, it's all okay. I'm not offended by it, because it's like, you can think that I'm just going to dream it. I already know that it's creating as I speak. That's the difference, right? So age, you know, it's never too late. It is never too late. You sent me a fantastic clip yesterday of, and I can't remember the woman's name. Was she 84 maybe?
She was 87 actually.
87. Yeah.
Because she spoke about a story in her 80s and said that that's 7 years ago, by the way, when the clip was taken.
Yeah. So, you know, in talking about, literally, she's a writer, but she's now a stand-up comedian, you know, in her 80s. And I'm like, because who said that she couldn't, shouldn't, mustn't, isn't able to?
Absolutely.
Well, even if somebody else did, she didn't tell it to herself, which is the important bit. And so now she's doing that, you know. And I have to say, the clip that I saw, she's very good at it.
Oh, absolutely. And I believe that, you know, it's like also the one thing I loved about her is that she didn't stand back. She was ready to take risks, to learn something new, to keep her mind and her body active. Those things are what you need to do at any age to be young, you know.
Well, it's not even to be young, because can we not just be our age and just be our age and live life, you know, with vitality, regardless of what age is written on the paper? You know, I don't want to feel like I did at 18. Why would I? I feel better now than I did at 18. So there's no reason for me to crave that. You know, my vitality is what I'm living with here and now. I have it, and I want to put that to use. I don't want to go back in time. I appreciate everything that's been, even the really rubbish times, because there were lessons for me to learn. And now, as long as I'm very clear about the lessons that I've taken from that, I'm good with that. I'm settled with that. Now, where am I right now, and what does that look like as it unfolds? Because there's nothing wrong with youthfulness, and there's nothing wrong with, you know, wanting to maintain youthfulness. But I think vitality, it sounds so much more open to everybody, because youthfulness, just even the word, is so tied to age. And this is
That's
not about
interesting.
age.
I didn't think of it like that. I'll tell you in a
Yeah.
minute. So.
Yeah, and that's my perspective. You know, when people talk about youthfulness, they think youthful and then they think 20s or whatever comes up in their minds. And I just think vitality, energy. Where's your energy at? Tap into that. And you can
Absolutely.
have that at any age.
No, I completely agree. It's just that I never really associated youthfulness with just a specific age. That's, in my mind, was probably similar to vitality. But like my motto is like, I want you to die young as late as possible. That's my thing, you know. Why not? I mean, that's the whole point. That's what I think about, you know, young. It doesn't mean that my skin is going to look like I'm 20 years old or, you know, whatever, even though nowadays it seems like it is, I was reading somewhere, it is a fact that there are women that their physique is like better than it was when they were like in their 20s, when they are like in their 50s or 60s, because they work out more, because they have discovered, you know, looking after themselves and their bodies and stuff like that. So, you know, that is also something. But
there was it brings me to that story, and again, names, never great at keeping these names, but the bodybuilder, and she's in, I think I'm going to say she's in her 80s. She was when I kind of discovered her, and oh my goodness, body to die for. She did not lift a weight, I think, until she was in her 60s, and it was only because her sister wanted to, and it was all out of something I think quite tragic that had happened. She's now, you know, a professional, you know, like the work that I used to do, fitness bodybuilder, and she has an amazing body, and she spends that time and that energy cultivating this wellness, and wow, what a role model. So again, anything is possible. Even and actually sometimes when I think some of my clients who come to me when they want to focus on their bodies, and I'm like, coming home to self, I don't care where you want to start, let's go with that, whatever that looks like. Right. So if that's like starting with the body first, is understanding that if you've never done anything before, that does not mean you can't do it now. That doesn't mean that it's too late for you to have a desire of what you would like your body to look like and feel like, and not be able to attain it. Personally, I'm like, just focus on being healthy, focus on being well, focus on movement. And, you know, and if you want something more extreme than that, that's okay. That's your thing. That's what you want to do. Fantastic. Do that too. But everything is available to us if we put our focus and attention on it, and then we follow through. Because there's stuff that we have to do, of course, that goes with that.
100%. But I you know, I think that's it. It's sort of like it starts from like looking after yourself, for having the respect for your body and for your health, and then, since, you know, like as long as those things are sorted, and you are doing the right things, I suppose everything else can follow. I mean, I admire, there is like a Dr. Gladys, I can't remember her last name, but she is like, she passed away last year, 104 years old. She wrote an amazing book at 103, a life well lived, and my goodness me, where to start and where to finish with this woman and what she has accomplished, and her message to the world at the end of the day, and, you know, what she did with herself. And what I really loved about this is that it wasn't that she didn't have any adversity in her life, because some people might think, yeah, it's all right, easy to say because of whatever reasons, but there was loss in her life, there was illness, there was like all sorts of things, you name it. Yet she chose to see the best in what she was doing and continued doing it until she passed away at 104. So, you know,
Yeah,
that's what it is.
absolutely. Yeah. And adversity is everywhere, you know, for anyone to get through life and not have any, then you can truly count yourself fortunate and lucky. I mean, seriously, if that's the case. But for the vast majority of us, that is part and parcel. But it's part and parcel of our growth, because there is a lesson, there are things for us to learn and to take away from those moments too. I so truly believe that if I go back and I unpack all my life and I unpack all the mistakes, all the errors, all the hurtful things, painful things, there was something for me to take from every single one of those situations that have helped to shape me to who I am today. And so it's too late for me. It's never going to be too late for me.
No.
It's never going to be too late for me until I'm not here. Well, then it's too late.
How do they say in England? Here. Completely agree.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So and again, going on to even the second phrase, you know, I've missed my chance. You know, is that again? That's not. I don't think I've ever gone there. I can't. I can definitely see where there was times when I perhaps didn't fully believe what was possible, but I'm not even sure if that was age related or if I just didn't believe that it was possible, right? So there's kind of that thing, that kind of stuff that went on. But I've missed my chance. I've never felt like I've missed my chance. I almost feel like I was waiting to grow into myself to realize the chances that I have.
Yep, that's the thing. I mean, I have heard this. It's not something that I am quite. You know, I don't really buy into that. But and I don't think I've ever done. But I have heard it, and I've heard it from very young people, and that is the interesting thing. How, you know, like this type of limitation is cultivated so well in our spirits, in the way that we think about ourselves, about our chances, about our opportunities, all these things, and we don't realize until it's much later that the limitation is actually within us. Because who says that you have missed your chance? I mean, I can't think of anything. Maybe, okay, for women, maybe giving birth might be one thing that, you know, like it is quite age related, but even that, nowadays, there are ways, even if you know, you find yourself in the best circumstances at the age of 45 to 50, you can still, you know, get that, if that's what you want.
Absolutely. But there's some great coaches out there. So so there is again that the expertise and the knowledge out there that if it's something that is truly meaningful, I'm not going to say that it will then happen for every single person, but you've got to at least put yourself in the mindset that it is possible, and then connect to those people who will be able to support you, encourage you, give you the advice and what you need to make that a greater possibility. You know, that for me is everything. But to actually cut yourself out of the running before you've even done any investigating or exploring and being really curious about, well, what is possible or what isn't, is really shortchanging yourself.
Absolutely. And you know, there is one other thing there, because of the word curiosity that you mentioned, that opens up so many possibilities. And also, even if you have actually really believing that you have missed your chance, if you see the whole thing with curiosity, possibly you can find something similar or something even more enticing for you to do or to be focusing on, because that's the beauty of seeing life with curiosity. I mean, many times we are dreaming of certain things and we want things to happen, but something else happens, and that is way more suitable for us
Yes.
and way more rewarding. So, you know,
Yes.
also we need to stop that limitation that we
Rigid.
are.
Rigid.
Yeah,
Be more
absolutely.
flex and flow, as I love to say.
Oh yeah.
Flex and flow, because when we become rigid, it must be like this and it must happen like this and it must go this way, then there are greater chances of us not necessarily getting to that place or having that thing, because it's so rigid, the rules that we're putting around it. So there has to be some flex and flow. And actually, I was into a beautiful meditation the other day, and he was saying that, dare to dream, whatever that is, and understand the powers that be. And you can call the power whatever you want to call it. I'll call it God. Somebody else will call it something else. Probably has something even bigger for you, or something even further out there that you couldn't even create for yourself because you can't imagine it yet. So just remember that is always a possibility. Your role is to be open to the possibilities, and age has nothing to do with that at all.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, we have seen people overcoming like the most amazing barriers, like outward barriers that, like people with big disabilities and stuff like that, and they are doing things that an able-bodied person wouldn't even consider, because they have seen their situation with curiosity and because they have been open to the possibility. And I think that also this particular phrase, it sort of plays in regret.
Yeah.
And I don't believe like regret is a very good place to, or like feeling to have at any age at the end of the day, because regret has to do with the past. The past is something we cannot change, and unless there is something you can do today that can like at least alleviate the pain or whatever you feel that you have caused yourself or somebody else today, there is no point in going back and saying, regretting. It's all about today and where we go from here, right? When it comes to accepting the possibility, accepting that there it has nothing to do with missing your chance or being too old to do something or any of these things. Because I don't believe regret is anything that can help you move forward. I don't know what is your take?
It's well, regret is something that will keep you stuck, because if you're living in regret, it's like something should have happened, didn't happen, or that did happen and that shouldn't have happened. Whatever it is, there is regret tied into that, and as long as there's regret, it will keep you stuck. It's like, for me, when I hear the word regret, it almost feels like, I see feet stuck in treacle, like wanting to pull out of it, but you can't because you just feel so stuck in it. It's and it will just keep you stuck in a spot that you don't want to be in. And actually, something didn't go your way. That's that bit where we have to decide, am I in a space where I can accept that it didn't go my way and let it go, or I can look for the opportunities in that. So it didn't go my way, but what other doorways have opened in spite or because of it? And so we have that choice to, what lens are we going to look at, or are we just going to allow ourselves to be stuck in that state of regret? And regret is heavy. It's regret, shame, doubt. I mean, all of that stuff is quite heavy, and we feel it in the body. So why be stuck in it? Why be stuck in it? Instead of being stuck in regret, go get stuck in possibilities, because it has a completely different energy, And if you're stuck in possibilities, then it means that doors are opening around and you're just like, oh, let me have a little peek through that one. What's possible there? What's possible here? So yeah, for me, regret is something to shed. It's, you know, I've certainly had moments in my life when I've regretted things. Absolutely, things I've said, things I've done, things I didn't do, blah, blah. But that's stuff to shed. You have to just get to that place where I accept that was what was then in that moment. I can't go back and do anything with that. So I'm going to accept that that's what it is. And then I'm living from today onwards, taking the lessons that I've learned from whatever those situations were.
Oh, that's it. I mean, the lessons. That's all you can take from this place. And I think that this is it. That's my take as well in regrets. Like, it keeps you stuck. It keeps you in a fixed mindset, and you keep playing. It's like playing the same like a record over and over again, thinking that something is going to change. Nothing changes. You just stay in that loop. Is the moment you get out of that and see it from a different perspective, that's the only time anything can change, right?
Yeah. I mean, regret again, should have, could have, would have, why didn't I, you know, all of that stuff. And it is and they are loops, and then you just get stuck in that loop, and the loop just keeps looping. So at some point you have to decide that I see this loop, or I feel this loop, or I hear this loop, and I don't want this loop anymore. I need to disengage from it. And for me to disengage with it, I need to accept that everything is as it is currently. And that, yes, if I want something different, if I want things to look different, feel different, then I need to do something different.
Oh yeah.
All of that's not going to just change just because. Right? And that's the opportunity we have.
And that goes back to personal responsibility, of course.
Always. Yeah. Self-responsibility. We have to, but you know, you know, I also want to add to that, you know, sometimes these loops are so deep, they are so ingrained, they are so present, like in the everyday. I understand the struggle, because if I go back to, you know, when my life was having a complete meltdown, breakdown, breakup, and all the rest of it, you know, I had many loops that I had to sit with and actually recognize them, and then start working on them, through them, out of them, whatever that was. But you've got to see them first. You've got to have awareness first, and then you can actually say, okay, that's a loop that's played out too many times for me. And I'm sure that this age thing has played out too many times for too many people. And now's the time to say, actually, that's not working for me. What it's doing is it's squashing my creativity. It's squashing my ability to see all the possibilities that are there for me. And I don't want that. I actually want to be able to see all that there is to see. I probably won't see all there is to see, but I want to see at least some of it, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Yes, I completely agree. This is it. We all have blind spots, and that's the reason why we need the support of others to, you know, like sort of become our mirrors, so we can see where those blind spots are. And even when we work with others, we don't necessarily see everything. But that's the beauty of growing. That's the beauty of, like, you know, always developing, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And that's the power of community, because I think that's, you know, again, why do we seek out community? Because we want to be able to unpack, or at least speak out some of this stuff without being ridiculed, or thinking we're going to be ridiculed, or people have never experienced it, they just won't know, they won't understand. So finding those communities where we can actually blur this out over the table and go through it with people who are there, who just want to uplift and support and encourage and provide tools and resources that allow you and help you to shift out of those places. Massively important. massively important, and they can really help to break many of these loops that we keep on getting stuck in or with. Yeah,
100%. Well, hopefully we are helping out a little bit with our myth busting series, because
yes,
these are expressions and limitations that we have seen playing up quite a lot, and it is a cross-cultural thing. It is like, you know, it affects every single one of us. So
indeed,
hopefully somebody will find this interesting.
Yeah, and you know, and every time we get a message, whether it's under the video, with the video, whether it's a DM, whether it's an email, we've had a few of those too. Oh, that one really hit the spot today. You know, thank you so much, because that's really, you know, that I'm just like, that's why we're doing this. That's,
Yeah,
you know, not, and also for ourselves, you know, not to be selfish, but also for ourselves, because it also reminds us, because reminders are
100%.
also important. You think you know everything until you don't, until you realize how much you don't know. So having reminders, going back to yourself and thinking, oh yeah, goodness, I've seen that come up again for me, and I didn't even notice it in the moment. This is what this is all about. And so, you know, community, permission to thrive, it's why we created it in the first place, so that we can really work with the women who want to get free, break free from all of this mind clutter, and become mentally fit for the life that they really want to create. And I think that for me is like the cream on the top of the cake.
Absolutely, no, definitely, that's what we are creating, and we'll keep doing it.
Indeed, we will. So just as a reminder then, we have a challenge that kickstarts on Monday. If you want to join, you just need to go to www.permissiontothrive.online, register and jump on board. And just understand that Permission to Thrive, you know, we're here to help you break free from the narratives that keep you caged.
With grace, not grind. Thank 100%. You very much, Yvonne.
Thank you, Evie. Thank you to those listening in. Appreciate.
You too. Bye, everyone.